Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. LSU in Florida from the Swamp, 2:30 Central Time on Saturday. And the biggest story of this week is most certainly going to be the availability of DJ Lagway. And a lot was made, of course, 2 weeks ago with LSU not being prepared for a second quarterback to come into the game. Marcel Reed diced LSU up, and then last week LSU didn't stop the run with the quarterback at Jalen Milroe, and everybody's looking at the rest of the schedule, and they're saying, oh my goodness, LSU can't stop the running quarterback. Here comes DJ Lagway. Here comes Diego Pavia. Here comes Michael Hawkins. Like, LSU's not going to be able to stop the running quarterback. This is a disaster. And that's fair to assume that because LSU did not stop the running quarterback in College Station and got gashed for 4 hours on Saturday night. That's completely fair. But let's talk about DJ Lagway first. DJ Lagway is not a dynamic running threat. He's very athletic. He was a 5-star quarterback recruit for a reason. He moves well, especially for a 240-pounder. But he is not some sort of Jalen Milroe clone. He's not as good a runner as Marcel Reed. I'll just read through his game-by-game statistics running the football. Against Miami, he ran it 4 times for 20 yards. Against Samford, he ran it 5 times for 16 yards. Against Texas A&M, 4 carries, negative 20 yards, a lot of sack yardage there. Mississippi State, 3 carries, 22 yards. Central Florida, 3 carries, 11 yards. Tennessee, 5 carries, 1 yard. Kentucky was his watershed moment. The most dynamic ground attack he's shown as the quarterback of the Florida Gators was against Kentucky Wildcats. He had 9 carries for 46 yards. About 5 yards a pop. And then against Georgia, before he got hurt, 4 carries for 18 yards. You're talking about a guy who, generally speaking, runs it about 4 times for about 15 yards. He is not an option quarterback or some sort of dynamic threat on the edge that's hitting 60-yard home run. He's not Anthony Richardson. He's a good athlete. He can certainly pick up a first down. He can certainly outrun a defensive end to the corner. But he's not a great rushing quarterback. He's just an athletic quarterback who would prefer to do his work from inside the pocket. That's one piece to this equation. The other piece to this equation is that DJ Lagway suffered a hamstring injury 2 weeks ago that forced him to be carted off the field. Florida is probably not going to a bowl game this year, and the future of that football program in immediacy is on DJ Lagway. I do not believe that Billy Napier is going to look at his freshman quarterback, who is probably part of the reason he's still employed, and say, hey man, I know you were on a cart 2 weeks ago, hamstring injury, but these guys really don't stop the run that good. Jalen Milroe, the fastest quarterback in college football, ran for 204 touchdowns on him last week. We're going to get you ready to run it 20 times this week. That's not going to happen. It's just not. I don't even know if DJ Lagway is going to play. But if he does, he's not going to be running wind sprints against this LSU defense 2 weeks after being carted off the field with a hamstring injury. It's just not realistic. LSU's got to prep for a running quarterback because they stink at it. But DJ Lagway is not that dude. And if he's not able to go and Florida does have to turn to Aiden Warner, he's not a running threat at all. Like, none. So this insinuation that Florida is going to run the quarterback all over LSU because the blueprint's been set up, I don't know if it's rooted in a ton of truth because Florida doesn't necessarily have that personnel at quarterback. Now, if you want to change gears and you want to tell me that Billy Napier has taken Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week to install some sort of wildcat offense with a super athletic dude back there to give LSU that look and keep that numbers advantage that A&M and Alabama enjoyed because their quarterback was a running threat, absolutely. I think it would be gross negligence if Billy Napier didn't put one of his running backs or wide receivers back there to take snaps and run read option. I don't know if they've ever practiced that previously, and I don't know how long it takes to put that into a playbook. I've never been to a college football practice where they're doing install. I don't know. But it would be negligence not to attempt to do that. Florida's really good at running the ball. Montrell Johnson is a big physical SEC back. He's been hurt for 3 weeks, but it hadn't really mattered because Jaden Ball and Jacoby Jackson have been excellent. Jacoby Jackson last week against Texas ran it 19 times for 116 yards, and Jaden Ball in that game as well had a really good effort running the football, had 88 yards. So they can run the ball. I realize in the Texas game they got down 35-0. You can create some garbage yards. I get it. But they're going to run the ball. As far as LSU preparing for 2 quarterbacks, they are doing that right now. And they're going to be prepared for what Lagway has shown, and they're going to be prepared for Aiden Warner. And that's something they're going to be out in front of. They certainly weren't 2 weeks ago, but now you know the injury. And we talked to some of the players yesterday, talked to Paris Shand, talked to Ashton Stamps, and that's something that they're looking at. But I think LSU fans, and it's natural, this is going to be a grossly negative week in and around LSU football as far as the fan base goes. The players, we talked to them last night, they're ready to roll again. They're ready to go to Florida and play a football game. I know the fans, half of them, we got to fire the coach, half of them quit on the season. I get how toxic losses are in this sport. It's why it's not my favorite thing to discuss. But I understand the fear that everybody's just going to run like crazy because that's all that's happened for the last 6 quarters. It would surprise me if you saw that on Saturday. If DJ Lagway runs the ball 17 times for 126 yards and 3 touchdowns on Saturday, I'll be shocked. If Aiden Warner does that, I'll be even more shocked. If Florida puts in a Wildcat system that does have some success, I'll be less shocked. But keep in mind, if you put a Wildcat back there, you don't have the passing threat that Marcel Reed or Jalen Milroe offered you the last 2 games. I get it. Marcel Reed only threw it twice, so you're not using it. But it actually exists. He is a quarterback who is capable of throwing the ball. You don't necessarily have that weapon with a running back or a wide receiver back there. I don't know if you want to call that sunshine pumping. I don't know if you want to call that not reading the room. But I'm here to give you my opinion and to analyze what is in front of me, what I've seen from Florida and what the stat sheet says, plus what I know about the fact that DJ Lagway has been eased into practice, and I just don't see Florida chopping up LSU with the quarterback run game. Billy Napier was on the SEC teleconference this morning. They asked him about DJ Lagway's availability. It was a word salad answer of basically, I'm not going to tell you anything. Said, yeah, he's progressing. He's out there. It's nice to see him. We're trending in the right direction. All these type of word salad cliches that don't mean anything. We'll get the SEC's first availability report tonight. I would be stunned if you saw anything besides DJ Lagway's name besides questionable. I think he'll be questionable until pregame. And last week in Austin, he put pads on and warmed up. So you're not going to know anything really until right before kickoff on Saturday. But even if he goes, do we really think the golden goose of that organization is going to be running around with a bum hamstring? I'm not seeing it. It's a break that LSU catches at this point in the schedule, but we'll just see how they handle things coming up on Saturday. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.